You have a choice to make. It could be massive, like switching careers, leaving a relationship, or moving across the country. Or it could be something ridiculously minor, like choosing a domain name for your project, or picking a meal off a menu. So, what do? You do what high achieving analytical people always do. You research. You open 14 tabs in your browser. You make pros and cons list. You replay every potential scenario in your head at 2 a.m. looking for the correct answer. You tell yourself, if I just gather 5% more information, the right choice will become obvious. But day after day goes by, and you haven't made a choice. You are stuck in a state of perpetual friction, exhausted by your own mind, completely paralyzed, and watching time slip away while you stand still. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Overthinking is not an intellectual problem. It is an emotional avoidance strategy. You believe you are struggling to make a decision because the logic is hard or because you lack enough data. But that's a lie your brains tells you to keep you safe. The real reason you go in circles isn't because the decision is complicated. It's because you lack the ability to regulate the uncomfortable emotions attached to the potential outcomes. When you overthink, you aren't actually analyzing. You are trying to construct a mental shield. You are trying to protect yourself from feeling disappointment if the path you choose doesn't pan out. You are trying to protect yourself from feeling regret over the alternate path you had to abandon. In psychology, this is known as avoidance emotional exposure. Your brain treats potential regret like a physical threat. So instead of making a choice and facing a real world outcome, which might bring temporary discomfort, it keeps you trapped in the safety of analysis paralysis. Because as long as you are still deciding, you don't have to feel the discomfort of being wrong. To break this cycle, you need a complete paradigm shift in how you view decision making. More analysis will not save you. Adding 3 more items to your pros and cons list will not give you peace of mind. The skill you need to cultivate is not better analytical thinking. The skill you need is distress tolerance. Distress tolerance is your capacity to experience uncomfortable emotions, uncertainty, fear of missing out, potential disappointment without panicking, over analyzing, or trying to escape. A rich, fulfilling life is not built on guaranteeing every decision you make is 100% perfect. That's impossible. A rich life is built on your willingness to make a choice, a step into the unknown, and say to yourself, even if this outcome causes me disappointment, I have the internal capacity to handle it. So, how do we practically build this stress tolerance and eliminate decision fatigue? Here is a 3-part framework you can apply immediately. Name the specific emotional ghost. The next time you catch yourself overthinking, stop writing pros and cons. Ask yourself one question: what specific emotion am I trying to avoid feeling right now? Is it the feeling of looking foolish? The feeling of wasting money? The regret of missing another option? Name it clearly. Once an emotion is named, it loses its invisible power over your executive functioning. Cap your information window. Overthinking thrives on unlimited time and endless input. Instead, use a hard boundary. Give yourself a strict time limit. 20 minutes or a resource cap. Reading no more than 2 reviews or talking to one person. Once that cap is reached, force yourself to execute. Practice micro discomfort. Distress tolerance is like a physical muscle. If you never flex it on small decisions, it will collapse under big ones. Start making low stakes decisions in under 5 seconds. What to wear, what to order, which task on your list to do first. Reconnect with the physical sensation of making a choice without certainty and letting whatever happens happen. Imagine what your life looks like when you stop using overthinking as a shield. You stop wasting hundreds of hours a year sitting in neutral. You regain momentum. When an opportunity presents itself, you no longer freeze out of fear of making a mistake. You evaluate it, commit to a path, and trust your ability to navigate the outcome. You realize that perfection was never the goal. Clarity doesn't come before action. Clarity is a byproduct of taking action. Stop trying to think your way into a life where you never feel regret or disappointment. Build the strength to make decisions. Sit with the discomfort and keep moving forward.